You ever have one of those nights where the universe just lines up in the strangest way? Where you're sitting there, minding your own business, just trying to keep your world from unraveling. And suddenly, the whole room pivots around a single, insane moment. That's how it was at Romano's, the kind of family place where everybody knows your order and pretends not to see the paint under your nails. I was at table 6, slicing pizza for Zoe, my 8-year-old with big eyes and a sharper gut instinct than I'll ever admit, when 3 guys in $1,000 suits boxed in Rebecca Martinez at her booth, like she was some kind of marked N01 did a damn thing. The single mom at table 3 kept her head down. The cook disappeared behind the kitchen door, and all I could think was, not tonight. Man, not in front of my daughter. So I stood up, slow, deliberate, making sure Zoe's eyes stayed on her coloring book, not the trouble walking in. You know how some people freeze, some run? I guess I'm built to move forward, especially when the past is snapping at my heels. In 15 seconds, it was over. One guy's arm bent wrong, another gasping on the floor, the third slinking away like he'd rather be anywhere but there. The whole place went dead silent. My daddy was in the Navy, Zoe announced, as if that explained anything. And I guess in a way it did. See, I'd spent most of my life learning how to spot trouble and end it fast, but Cedar Falls was supposed to be different. This was supposed to be safe, a do-over for the both of us after everything fell apart. But that night, the old instincts kicked in. And once you've lived on the edge, you can smell when danger's in the air, even if everyone else is too busy with garlic bread and conversation to notice. Rebecca. God. She looked scared, scanning the door every 5 seconds, flinching at every new customer, trying and failing to look like she belonged there. I saw it right away. She was running from something, someone, maybe both. Her coffee sat untouched. Her hands shook when she thought no one was watching. And when those 3 suits glided in, one built like a linebacker, the other 2 flanking him military style, I knew the storm had landed right in front of us. They didn't waste time. No menus, no pleasantries, just straight to her table. The big one called her Miss Martinez with a smile that made my skin crawl. He didn't have to raise his voice. His threat was all in the way he leaned across the table, the way his guys blocked her exit. You've been avoiding our calls. Rebecca tried to keep her cool, told them to find another lawyer, but I could hear her fear. One of the suits sent a plate flying, and just like that, the room shifted. People started leaving, the waitress ducked out of sight, and I realized if I didn't move, nobody would. Daddy, why does that lady look scared? Zoe whispered, her crayon frozen mid-stroke. What was I supposed to say? That sometimes grown-ups have bigger monsters under the bed? I just kept my voice steady, watching the suits close in, hoping to God Zoe wouldn't see what was coming. But when one of the guys leaned in too far, his hand curling like he owned the place, I stood up. The scrape of my chair echoed loud in the quiet. "Excuse me," I said, just loud enough. The leader looked me over, saw a plumber with paint on his hands, and dismissed me like I was nothing. "Mind your own business, pal. This is private. But I've been in enough bad places to know when you bluff and when you show your hand. My business is my daughter finishing her pizza in peace," I said. "Your business seems to be making people nervous." Yeah, you could feel the temperature drop. He got up, probably expecting me to back down. But old habits die hard. 3 steps, and I was there. Broke his wrist with a twist, dropped his muscle with a hit to the solar plexus, stopped the 3rd guy before he could pull whatever he was reaching for. 15 seconds, maybe less. Silence, except Zoe's crayon scratching away like nothing had happened. I dusted off my shirt, eyes never leaving the men. "This isn't over," the leader growled, but I just told him to leave and never come back. He glared, but left, the kind of look that says you just made a lifelong enemy. Seen it before, doesn't faze me anymore. What scared me was Zoe's eyes, trying to figure out what kind of dad dismantles 3 men like it's just another chore between soccer practice and bedtime. He protected people from bad guys, like on TV, but real, she told the room. Rebecca stared at me, trying to reconcile the quiet plumber with the man who just broke a guy's arm for her. She recognized something. Maybe she'd seen it before. Maybe she just knew what real danger looked like. Either way, the mask was off. The cops showed up later. Too late, of course, and by then, Most people had forgotten their food. Cameras malfunctioned at the exact right moment. Go figure. I gave a statement. Just a citizen helping someone in trouble, nothing more. They didn't buy it. But with everyone backing me up, they had no choice. Rebecca came over, thanked me, her gratitude real, but her curiosity sharper. You moved like military, she said, dropping her lawyer voice. Not just any military, special forces, probably Navy. She pushed a card across the table. Those men work for Victor Castellanos. I need your help. I tried to brush her off. I fix pipes. I raise my kid. End of story. But then she said a name that stopped my heart cold. Captain Benjamin Rodriguez. My old CO, the man who died saving my team. Rebecca's father. Suddenly, everything snapped into focus. The case she was working, the one Castellanos wanted her to drop, it was connected to the faulty body armor that failed her father. Soldiers had died. Good men. And Rebecca had evidence. Files her father died protecting. You know those moments when the past and future crash together? Yeah, that was one. I wanted to run, to take Zoe and vanish. But then Zoe, in her quiet, devastating way, asked if helping was the right thing, even if it was scary. Heroes help people, right? She said. Kids see the world clearer than we do sometimes. Rebecca looked at me, her father's daughter, in every way. She needed help. And I owed her old man a debt I'd never paid. So I laid out my terms. We do it my way. Zoe's safety comes first, and the second things get too hot, I'm gone. Rebecca agreed. Crystal clear, she said, and handed me everything. Evidence, contacts, the whole mess. She even offered her house as a safe haven for Zoe. Art room, cable TV, the works. I saw hope flicker in Zoe's eyes, saw the possibility of something better for all of us. The farmhouse was perfect, security tight, plenty of room for a kid to be a kid and two adults to plan the takedown of a monster. Rebecca was all business, files organized like a general mapping a battlefield. We built the case, quietly, methodically, like the old days. We gathered evidence, set up protection, and, yeah, got a little closer than I expected. Turns out, families can come together in the weirdest ways. 3 months later, Castellanos was in cuffs. Frog marched past reporters who wanted to know everything. The military overhauled their equipment suppliers. Rebecca's case was airtight. My tactical know-how closed the gaps. And Zoe, well, Zoe painted a portrait of Captain Rodriguez that still hangs in Rebecca's office. We lost some battles along the way, but we never lost sight of what mattered. Now, Romano's keeps our table ready every Friday. 3 seats, me, Rebecca, and Zoe, sometimes laughing, sometimes quiet, but always together. The town whispers about the plumber with the Navy past and the lawyer who won't back down. I don't mind anymore. I used to hide from that life, but now I see it's just another chapter. So what's right? What's justice, really? Is it exposing the bad guys? Or just making sure your kid grows up in a world worth living in? I'm still not sure. Maybe you've got your own take. So tell me, what would you have done? Where's the line between protecting your own and fighting for justice? Drop a comment. Let's hear what you think. Because I'm telling you, life doesn't hand out neat endings. Sometimes you just grab what piece you can and keep moving forward. You know what I mean?